We are live. Hey, everyone, it's Dana.
And Jamie.
And we are together again. We took a 2-week hiatus just to enjoy the holiday and our families. And now we're back. And thanks for bearing with us with the reschedule last week. But we are live on a special night tonight with the very first dude on the Modern Mom Lounge. We are going to introduce him to you shortly. We hope everyone had a great, safe, happy, and healthy holiday and are running into 2021 like there's no tomorrow. We'd love to hear if you guys have made any resolutions or anything. So in the comments, please be sure to, when you say hi, tell us what's new and exciting and what you're looking forward to for 2021. We have a lot of great shows and interviews planned for the coming months. So we're pretty booked up and we're super excited, but we always like to hear from you. So if you guys have any comments or recommendations or anything, please be sure to forward them to us. So in the meantime, I am going to introduce you to Brad Kerner. He is the Echo Dude. He was previously my plastic-free family feud, but we love his rebranding and we're so excited to bring him on to teach us. One of the new things that we can do in 2021 is to become more of a low-waste family without making your family crazy, which I do on the regular, so this should be quite interesting. So hold on one second. We are going to bring Brad into the lounge. Here we go. Hey!
Hey guys.
Hello! How are you?
Good. I'm so psyched to be live in the lounge. This is awesome.
It.
And I'm the first guy. I can't believe this.
First dude. It's history.
I'm the first dude. If you're going to have a dude, you might as well have the Eco Dude.
Seriously, right? So if anyone's there, please comment and say hi. I see people popping in and popping out. Here's Demita. Hi.
Domina. I have to correct you.
Domina. Yes, please.
She would make me if she could talk.
So be sure to say hi, leave comments with your name and so on. So how was your holiday, Brad?
My holiday was awesome. 2 whole weeks staycation. I got a little bored at the end. I'm not going to lie. I'm someone who likes to do a lot of things. And I was like, I don't want to log onto my computer and do work, but I don't know what else to do. How many new cocktails can you try? And board games can you play? Yeah, but it was fun. It was nice to be home and hanging out and taking time off work. So, but we didn't do the things we usually do. We didn't go to Vermont to see my in-laws. We didn't go skiing. We didn't go to my other family to celebrate the holidays with them. We kind of just did it all alone. A lot of Zooming. Oh, there's my buddy Mark Blitz. Say hi to Mark.
Hey, Mark.
He was my best man, so he might be your first dude who's coming to watch your show, besides your dad.
I was going to say, besides our dad.
Our dad is the dude that we can count on.
Yes.
A little props for the hat.
My new hat.
Did you start any new traditions during the vacation? Now that you had to change it up and not go to Vermont and not do the typical?
I don't know if it's going to be a tradition like an every year kind of thing, but we did watch the whole Star Wars, all of them, like all 11 of them. Every single day we watched one. I usually fell asleep because, I'm a morning person. So I was like snoozing on the couch. Mark Blitz, my old roommate, knows this. But yeah, it was kind of fun. Most of the kids stayed up and that stuff was fun. We stayed up. I think my 13-year-old started a new tradition, which is sleeping to 11 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
That may not just been the holiday tradition.
I know. I'm a little nervous that this is going to be the new thing.
It's the beginning.
I know.
Awesome.
It was crazy.
Right. You want me to start, Dean?
Dig right in.
All right. So, Brad, we're so excited for you to be here. We'd love for you to share a little bit with our listeners and our followers about yourself. Let us get to know you, and then we have some questions that we know people are excited to hear your answers to.
Sure. And if I start rambling, you just cut me off. It's okay. But I'm Brad. Most people call me Brad instead of the Eco Dude. But I did rebrand because people were saying, "Oh, you're the My Plastic Free Family Feud," and that sounded weird. So now it's a lot easier when people see me and say, "Oh, you're the Eco Dude."
I love it. I think it's great.
I like
It's
it too.
nice, right? But you guys can call me Brad. I am a father of 3, married 16 years. I live in Connecticut, in Fairfield, Connecticut. And I work at a very large international humanitarian organization. And I've spent for the last 16 years as well, and have traveled the world probably 10 plus times all over the place. So I spend most of my time traveling around the world, seeing different cultures and people, and helping to develop programs for young people, adolescents. Um, yeah, I'm originally from New York, and somehow I became the Eco Dude, and that was it's kind of cool that I think I might be your first guest in the new year. The cool thing is I started this whole thing as a New Year's resolution last year, going into 2020. And that's really how the My Plastic Free Family Feud was born, which was through a resolution. That was not a family resolution. It was mine.
It's become their resolution now, right? They're on board.
No, my wife is on. I think I saw her join. I try to. She's not one for resolutions. I take on resolutions, and they come along for the journey. So, yeah, we could talk more about what things they joined in and what they didn't. But really, the idea last year was to take some of the plastic out, and a lot of this was because I was watching all those documentaries on Netflix. There's so many good ones now.
Yes.
And, I'm kind of that type of person. When I watch something like that, I kind of want to do something when it's over. And so I decided to do something quite public, which was make this commitment. Let's take out the plastic. I never said plastic free, even though it said My Plastic Free Family Feud. But it was about getting less plastic use and seeing how the family would adapt. And sometimes they did, and sometimes they didn't. But I kept going on with it.
What were some of, so you said the tradition this year was maybe binge watching, and it sounds like last year you might have binge watched a bit on Netflix. What were some of the ones that you watched that influenced you the most?
Oh my God, I forgot those because they were so long ago. I forgot the exact names, but there's so many. There's one series called Rotten.
Mhm.
If you've seen that one on Netflix, and in Rotten, they have like little mini episodes, and there was one on plastic bottles there. And I can't remember which one teaches you what, but it's where you start to learn that the whole that recycling itself is a sham. It doesn't really, it's not real. That 9% of all plastic used is actually recycled, and that the whole thing was created by the oil companies to get people to use more plastic. And so when you start to watch that, you feel so manipulated. You're like, what? And then I started to learn about the numbers on plastic. Like you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, and someone cleverly put it inside the same triangle that looks like a recycling triangle. But did you know that doesn't mean it can be recycled? Those are just telling you what type of plastic it is. But most people see that like, oh, I can recycle it. But it's not what it is. And so a lot of this is just people do a lot of what we call wish cycling. They throw it in the recycling, hoping it's going to get recycled, but it ends up in the trash. So I remember the one from Rotten, and there was one I think called the Plastic Ocean. There's a whole bunch. Honestly, I think if you just search plastic in Netflix, you'll get a whole bunch. Since then, I've moved on to I will say there was one. My favorite Netflix doc right now is My Biggest Little Farm. I feel like that's changed my life. It's not really about plastic, but it's a part of this whole ecosystem. It's amazing. It's amazing.
We'll have to check it out.
It's really good.
Go ahead, Dan.
Are you gonna have a farm next?
I feel like I have a mini farm. I have a mini suburban farm. I have 3 kids. I have 2 bunnies.
Kind of like farm animals.
I have 2 bunnies right next to me. I can show you before the interview's done. They're sitting here. Indoor bunnies. They're our Corona pets. Outside, I have my bees, and we're in the process of building a chicken coop, and so it's almost done. I say we, but I'm actually not building it. My wife's building it. And then she's really handy. She's very handy. So she's building a chicken coop. She's almost done, and we'll get chickens, and we'll see where we go from there. I feel like my neighbors would not be happy with goats and other things. So we'll see. But I'd love to have a big little farm right here. How awesome would that be?
That would be so much fun. I can't wait to be able to go outside and get fresh eggs I'm very excited for you, and I'm super impressed that your wife is building the
Oh,
chicken.
she's there's if you scroll on Instagram, she built our kitchen island, and it's incredible. So kudos to you, Tara. Everyone who sees that, it's like, wow. But she
We need to
has,
have her on.
I was just gonna say.
yeah, you got to have her on. But she's an introvert. I don't know if she'll take up your offer, but she's pretty awesome.
She's
She's
on.
awesome.
She can comment.
She should come. Tara, are you there? Are you going to join us?
She says she doesn't do resolutions.
I don't. She doesn't do resolutions. We don't want you to do a resolution. We just want you to get on the Modern Mom Lounge.
No way. No way. So, Brad, tell us a little bit more, exactly what is low waste? I know part of this is understanding how we can make a difference. And I'm sure people are like thinking about how hard that may be, but
Yep.
Can you give us a little more details around what low waste?
Sure. I'm just going to break it down simple because I'm not trying to be like, I'm not an academic that's studying, the environment. And there's some amazing people out there I learn from. But I try to keep everything really real because I'm just a dad trying to do better here. Low waste just means creating less waste in your household. So reducing the amount of trash you drag out every week when the garbage man comes or garbage woman, and sending less to the landfill. That's how I see it. There was times in my journey where I was posting pictures of how much trash I was throwing away. I was very excited when we got down to 1 bag a week. Imagine a family of 5 with 1 bag of trash.
That's great.
It seems great. I don't know, but it didn't take that many changes to do that. But yeah, I was just think about it like that. There's so many other things you can do to be environmentally friendly, being non-toxic, not eating meat. But for this journey, I was really thinking about the waste that we produce. And I started with plastic because even in the recycling bin, I was trying to go down a little bit on how much plastic is there. And it's pretty amazing when you start to be conscious about the choices you make, how it reduces trash. So those choices, I don't know if this is one of your questions, but I was thinking like, where do you make those changes? And I would say don't walk around thinking about it all the time because you'll feel like a terrible person. And no one wants to feel terrible. We're all awesome people. We're going through, we just finished the worst year of history. Like we ought to feel good. So I don't want you to sit around and think like, oh, I'm ruining the earth all the time. I think the best time to do it is when you're doing your shopping, when you're in the grocery store, and start there, because that's where a lot of our waste comes from. Just think about it. Like some of the simple changes is getting things that are in glass containers because glass always gets recycled. There's no numbers on glass. Glass, we know, is what we call indefinitely recyclable. So it always you can always melt it down, turn it back into glass of the same quality. Even plastic that gets recycled, even though so much of it isn't, gets downgraded to a worse form of plastic. And you can only recycle plastic like 2 times before it's just, a flimsy plastic bag. So look for things in glass. Like I found, I had to stop. It's a little hard because a lot of us like that one-stop shop mindset. Mm-hmm. And I've had to start going to 2 different shops because, this one has a lot of stuff, but they only have ketchup in plastic bottles, but that one has the ketchup in glass. So we just know on our shopping list, like here's where you get these things, here's where you get those things. Mm-hmm. Also, just one of the hardest change. I know it seems weird. It's really not that hard, but choosing veggies that aren't wrapped in plastic. Mm-hmm. Like you don't need to choose romaine hearts, 3 of them in a package of plastic. They sell right next to it, romaine, not in plastic. So we just started doing more of that. Even if you choose to put it in the plastic bag there, that's fine. But we chose to not put it in plastic bags. We bought those produce bags. You can just Google produce bag. You'll find hundreds of them out there. And at first, people look at you a bit weird when you're checking out. Like, what is this? But then no one really has ever given me a hard time. Except sometimes I run out of produce bag because I have bunnies. I buy a ton of greens. I buy like collard greens. I buy tons. It's for the bunnies. Like I just pile it up on the belt. So they're like, whoa, what is this? Like 3 things of collard greens and 3 things.
Your farm.
But they're the healthiest ones around, the bunnies. But yeah, I just skip the plastic bags and I buy things. I try to buy it when it's not in plastic, and I'm not perfect. We are still buying things that are in plastic. Oh, you know what a fun thing is? We stopped buying milk at the grocery store. which thank God with 3 kids, like carrying out all that milk, it sucks.
Yeah, I can
So
imagine.
we get delivered now in glass bottles, like old school. I grew up with that. That's how old I am. These go dudes old. I'm turning 45 this year. Yeah, so we get glass delivery, and one, it brings back memories of my childhood, which I like.
Right.
And it's kind of tastes fresher. Glass milk in glass is colder. We know where it comes from, and it gets delivered to my doorstep. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense. What you said it was hard and you're not perfect. What has been like impossible for you to give up, or is there one thing where you're all just like either you or someone in your family like we're not doing it?
There's a lot of things my family feuded about, and they're like, yeah, we're not doing that. So I didn't try to force anything on them, you know. My son has got addicted to that Trader Joe's brioche bread. Have you had that yet?
No.
Kind of like crack in bread form. It's really good. And he's like a very picky eater, and it's like that's what he wants. So yeah, we still buy that bread wrapped in plastic. But I make sourdough now, and Dana, I think you said you want to learn how to make sourdough.
I know. I want to learn how to make it. I saw your son making it the other day on social.
If he could do it, anyone can.
Exactly. I was like,
so I would say the sourdough bread. I would say there's some frozen foods that are still in the plastic that my kids, mostly things for my kids that they use. For me, I'm like, I've been pretty good. I mean, do I buy things in plastic? I guess if I'm, yeah, I can't think of something of myself. I'm not plastic free. What did my wife say?
You read my mind.
I
was going to say, what about Tara?
She said she can't let go of my toothpaste in tubes. Yeah, so I use this toothpaste in this glass bottle. Let me take one out for you. I brought some props. There it is. That's my toothpaste. It's a little bit. You put it in your mouth. You bite on it. My youngest daughter started using this, but my 2 boys have not. They are stuck on the toothpaste in tubes. But I am partnered with TerraCycle, so I can send our toothpaste tubes back to TerraCycle to get recycled.
Oh, see, that's cool. So you're at least
offsetting it in some way.
Yeah, I'm trying to offset. That's good, right? I'm trying to offset it. But every kid's different. Like my oldest son won't do the toothpaste spits, but he uses a bamboo toothbrush. Okay. Now I tried to steal my 6-year-old's plastic toothbrush the other day because I was sending a package back to TerraCycle. People were giving me their plastic toothbrushes. So I stole hers because she has a bamboo one. And then the next morning I hear her complaining to my wife while she's brushing up, like, wait, where's my lucky pink toothbrush? Who took it? I was like, what? I got busted. Actually, I didn't send it out yet. So I gave it back to her. What does she say? My wife is she's really trying to throw me. She will not. Yeah. So yeah, there's a good one. We should have came on together. Actually.
I know she's actually helping paint the picture of how you didn't drive your family crazy. Like they're still making their own choices on certain things.
That's the message. Like I did this for myself, but you live in a house. You're an ecosystem. Like one thing affects the others. So they've all made a lot of changes. I gotta say, I'm really proud of my family. They've done a lot. My wife is using the same toothpaste. I wish I didn't bring my the dental floss. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It comes in a glass container. It's made from silk, so it's natural. It can be composted. Now I'm a big gardener, so I have a big compost. So silk is natural. It can be composted, but that really grosses Tara out. Same with my bamboo Q-tips. Like I throw them in the compost. He drove us crazy. She's not messing with me. Tara, are you kidding me?
But she's letting her extrovert out.
I love it.
I allow her to throw her dental floss in the trash. And then I pick it out and I put it into the compost and she doesn't even know.
Well, you just gave it away.
I did.
I'd love to hear a little more about TerraCycle because I feel like that, for people that aren't really willing yet to, make some drastic changes, that might be a good start.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's TerraCycle. I think they're based out in New Jersey. Go Tri-States. You guys are from the Tri-State area, right?
We are. I was growing up.
So there's some guys that started this. Everyone starts with the same passion, which is cool, and then you start to see all these innovations. But I think the way it works is that a lot of it is paid for by the big companies. Mm-hmm. So the toothpaste and toothbrush actually is a Colgate pays for it.
Oh.
So I don't pay for shipping. When I go on and I print out the label, I think that charge for that, and then I bring it to UPS, they weigh it. I think that charge gets sent to Colgate. I think that's how it works. I have no clue actually. But you have to sign up for the programs. You go to TerraCycle.com. There's a whole list of programs. Say again?
TerraCycle, TerraCycle.
You got it.
Okay.
And you don't always get in all the programs. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. You guys are high tech. That's awesome. They're really awesome. But you have to just look at the programs that you're into,
Okay.
and you ask to join. And sometimes you get in right away. Other times you're on a waiting list. So I'm on a waiting list for a whole bunch of stuff. Like there's these tortilla chips. I forgot the brand. I think they're called Late July.
Oh, they're phenomenal. I love their line.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Mhm.
If you see on the bag, there's like an infinity sign and it says TerraCycle.
Okay.
So there's a Late July TerraCycle program. Like if you're eating those every week, you just save them. But if you join the program, I haven't gotten into the program yet, so I was waiting. But I'm in the like toothbrush one. I'm in the Gillette razor one. I'm in the pop socket one. But most of these, like you can send in, like
Right.
Gillette razor, you can send in any razor and any blade and even the packaging that it comes in. So what I do is I become a collection point for all my friends and neighbors, and I allow them just to dump their trash on me, and then I send it in.
That's awesome.
Nice. That's my sister just joined up. My whole family's here.
I was
This is
gonna say,
awesome.
someone saving their Q-tips for you. That's so sweet.
That's someone's my sister in New York City. She brings her freaking compost to my house when she visits and throws it.
Wow, you really had a lot of influence.
Yeah, she's we call her the recycling queen. She loves to recycle.
So what's next for you on your journey? Obviously, you've accomplished a lot, educated yourself, your family. We've learned so much in a short period of time. What's next for the Echo Dude?
What's next? Well, one, I want to get you guys to use these Q-tips and compost them. They look just like regular ones. And
Yeah,
look at this.
Yeah, that looks
This is my new face cream.
toothpaste bits. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is face cream.
Oh,
Yeah,
What
just
do you
put it on.
Is it like oily though?
It is oily. If you like oily, it's more of this one's more oily. But
Right.
it's in a compostable package, and it's pretty awesome. Anyway, that's not what's next. I'd love to get you guys to use some of these products. But what's next for me? There's a couple things. One, I have new resolutions for this year.
Mhm.
So I'm doing Veganuary. So I'm trying to be vegan just in January, which is like a big thing. I'm also doing dry January. And then I committed to being vegetarian the rest of the year. Just for me personally, I think it'll be too hard to give up good cheese. Love good cheese, love pizza. Like I don't want to torture myself. So, and I'm getting the chickens. So I thought vegetarian would be good.
Mhm.
I want to keep influencing my community. And so I've never really thought I'd be a influencer. But I got 20, like I'm almost hitting 23,000 followers. 23,000, yeah, right. 2,300 followers. And it's
I
like,
was like,
whoa,
wow.
very organic, just people hearing about it, following me. So I'm like, wow, why not? If you have the power to be influential, why not use it for good? So I think I'm going to continue doing that.
You definitely should. You could
Right.
sell your energy and your excitement in your posts and in your interviews that you do on your Instagram channel, which we'll talk about in a second too. And it's very motivating. Like I probably won't send my Q-tips to you, but I might.
I don't want them actually. I imagine my wife already thinks it's gross. My Q-tips.
That's
are
where you
going in
draw the
compost.
line.
What if they're yours? Yeah, so I want to keep sharing my energy. I've always had passion for what I do at work and outside, so I want to share that with people. But I did have this crazy dream. You guys want to hear about the crazy dream?
Yeah.
I had this weird dream the other night that I was like working in a store, like a retail store, like selling all these eco-friendly products and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. Should I go work in a store somewhere? Is that weird? But like,
or something. Like
I just feel like in my town, there's what I guess I realized is when I started doing this and you go into your little echo chamber, it's like, yeah, everyone knows about these Q-tips and this. And then when I start talking to my friends about it, it's so new for so many people. And most of the stuff you cannot get in the normal stores. You have to do all direct to customer. So this past year was ordering from like 30 different people. Toothpaste here, toilet paper there, all this different stuff. And wouldn't it be cool to be like, go into a Walgreens or a CVS and walk up and down the aisles, but everything is good for the planet, good for people. Just like you don't have to worry about it. Someone's done that thinking for you. That was like kind of my dream. I don't know. I'm not one to like act on my dreams, but I just thought it was like weird that I had that dream before this interview. I thought I'd tell you. So maybe there'll be something like that in my future.
No, I think if there was like a catch-all place, something of that sort, it would also, people would go in for one item, but then they would realize that there's so many other items out there that are sustainable and low waste, and it'll be more of an education, and that maybe it could be a place of like a forum where people can gather, and it becomes like I'm picking up what you're putting down, Brad.
I would love it. I would love that. I just feel like, think about it all the time. I mean, I'm a sucker at CVS. You freaking go down the Halloween aisle in November. I'm like, yeah, I'll take all that 75% off this. I think you end up buying a lot of stuff you don't need. And I would love for that stuff you don't need to be more eco-friendly and not made for the landfill. And so that like, all right, maybe I didn't need that, but at least I know it's not going to end up in the landfill. It could be composted or, it's glass. Mm-hmm. Take the thinking out. Make it be like an experience. Let people learn. If people learn from me, I think I had some friends joking that they need those like WWBD bracelets. Like, what would Brad do? Because like this is like the biggest compliment I think I've gotten. Where my friends are like, yeah, I was in the store the other day shopping, and I was like, what would Brad buy? And like, that's what I kind of want. I want just to inspire people to be more conscious about their choices. Not perfect. It's about progress, not perfection, but just to be a little bit more conscious and, do the best you can, but you don't have to, you can still go out, buy that new pair of shoes or, do what you need to do with like the modern moms in the lounge.
I'm from a marketing standpoint, I'm like, wow, you already have a merch line set up, everything.
Progress, not perfect. Yeah, that's what it's totally about. Thank you. I love that.
I think that's awesome. So we're already, oh my gosh, we're like wrapping up on time. So I am going to do my speed questions to you. Coffee or tea?
Tea, green tea.
Green tea, a favorite amongst us as well. Red wine. I know you're dry January, so you're drinking cherry
juice. But I'm more of a red wine drinker. I love red wine.
Favorite flower?
Oh, favorite flower. I think any wild native flower. Okay. Up here, there's a lot of just anything wild, like the yellow goldenrod. You see a lot of that up here.
Oh, that's beautiful. What about your favorite? Well, actually, here's another thing. This is off of the favorite. So when you are not looking for ways to find sustainable or low waste products or educating people, what are you doing?
Oh my God, what am I doing? I don't sit a lot. I'm not like a sit and read for hours. I am out running or I'm on my Peloton bike or I'm cleaning and picking up cigarette butts. I don't know. So I am gardening. I'm a mentor for some refugees locally. I always like to give back. I'm a knitter. I knit sometimes. What? You go do you? I can't just let that out of the closet. I don't always come out of the knitter's closet, but you guys inspired me. I feel like I would.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Thanks.
Do you have a favorite book or an author that you would recommend? I know you had mentioned a few things before. Like, are there any or podcasts or somewhere that you would recommend for people to, as like their first stop to learn, aside from the Echo Dude, about
a first stop? I honestly feel like the way I learned was Instagram. It's like the best first place because there's so many people doing swaps. They call it swaps, like swapping one thing for another. But I think my favorite book, but I have a favorite book, but it's not like a beginner book. I have a book called The Drawdown. It's by Paul Hawkins. It's the most evidence-based plan to draw down our carbon footprint. And it's pretty clear what we all need to do. And he has like 50 things and they're ranked. And every page is like one of those things. And it's just mind blowing that the solutions are out there. They're not all affordable, but we know what they are, and he's ranked them. And you'd be interested. One of the top 10 of the top 10, 2 of them are things that I work on in my job, which is family planning.
Mhm.
So limiting the number of children and reducing our impact on the earth, and educating girls around the world for all those girls who are out of school, keeping them in school, longer education, smaller family size. It's all part of the solution. So I love that book because it takes a really global and holistic view of like the things we can do around the world. Anyway, that's not like, but I have another favorite podcast I can tell you about that has nothing to do with eco-friendly life.
What?
Last year I listened to, I think it was called Dolly Parton's America. It was amazing. It was so good. Yeah, you gotta listen to that. It was incredible. I mean, I liked Dolly Parton, but I didn't really know her as well. And now I just like, yeah, she's awesome.
That's awesome. I don't know. I thought you were going to say, do you know Trader Joe's has a podcast?
Oh, I didn't.
Oh my God, it's phenomenal.
It
called,
is?
I think it's called Inside Trader Joe's, and it's actually produced by people inside Trader Joe's. Not like offside people, but I'm obsessed with it. I literally listen to it, and I text or voice message myself all of the food I want to buy after because they tell you what's coming out and like how they also try to reduce their carbon footprint and things that they're trying to do, and just everything. I'm obsessed with Trader Joe's.
I love the staff at Trader Joe's. They're like the coolest people. They're so nice. You can ask. It's like being at Disneyland. If you ask someone at Disneyland where something is, they stop what they're doing. They bring you there. And I feel like Trader Joe's is the Disneyland of the shopping food experience.
Same exact. But yes, that was another great podcast. I don't know. I thought you could say that. So, is there any last words that you would like to lead to the Modern Mom Lounge, being the first dude?
I mean, I'm not like the dude, so I think I was a good transition. And I'll find like a really burly dude to like have on here. But I think I don't know. This wine is getting to me. I think
cherry juice. You're cut off.
My cherry juice. I think
it's done.
I think I would love to say to all the moms, it's 2021. If there's one thing we learned during COVID, we slow down, we start thinking more, we're more conscious of what's going on around us. And even if you choose one or two things, maybe it is no more milk in plastic. Maybe it is a different kind of toothpaste, or maybe it's not the lettuce in the plastic.
Right.
Make one change. Oh, and there is a question. What's your favorite band? And I can't believe I didn't say this during the whole tradition thing. But my favorite band is Fish. And I've seen Fish during New Year's at MSG for the last 14 or 15 years with that guy, Mark Blitz. I usually leave them. My friend Mark and Greg, they go to the New Year's show. I go to the 3 before. But like I'm a good dad, so I go home to my family. Just kidding, Mark. They go, and it was hard when you said there are new traditions. I hope not seeing Fish is not a new tradition. I really miss them during this season. But yeah, we do love that band. They are amazing.
Awesome.
Rock on, go low waist, and come follow me on the Eco Dude because I always have something new up my sleeve. It's just I try to make it fun.
Yes, for sure. So everyone on Instagram, you need to go to the.eco.dude. And you have a website as well. Is that correct?
I have one under construction, theecodude.com, but I'm still working on it. I'm not like, I have a full-time job. I try to do these things on the side.
Well, it's amazing how much
I have a blog is probably what you're thinking of. But on my Instagram site, you can link to all those other things.
Okay, that's perfect. No, it's just amazing, your determination and your love and appreciation for all of this, even with a full-time job and a beautiful large family and soon to be chickens and rabbits and stuff. Like, it's just amazing that you spread your education and love to everyone. We really appreciate it.
Ah, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me. How cool. Who will be your second guy? Let's try and get my wife on sometime. She's a psychiatrist, so she could have a whole new spin on this.
Ooh.
She can say, you can keep appreciating Brad, but that guy needs to slow down.
That's hysterical.
Thanks for having me, you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Jamie, hope to see you soon because we live in the same state. So.
Out. Bye.